What is going on, guys? Scott here from Horizon Bound. I hope you are doing well. I'm doing terrific as usual. So I just got back from an awesome camping trip up at a place called Nettle Springs Campground up in Maricopa, California. It's kind of above Ventura County, Los Angeles area, up in the mountains. And it was me, my brother, and two good buddies of ours. And we took our trucks up there and just tore up some trails, tore up the river bottom, kicking dirt, kicking sand, kicking dust everywhere. Inside of my truck is filthy, but it was a great freaking time. Really put those Kings to work. You know, the new King suspension that I got. And man, there's a reason why Kings are king, I'm just saying. The thing was like a Cadillac floating through that river bottom. But anyway, so after we got done with our awesome off-roading, we went back to our campground. We set up, we got the fire going, we got the grill going, we had everything all laid out, played a little beer pong, you know, all the good stuff. And we started talking about coolers. And not to say which ones are better, but we got into a little debate of, you know, whose cooler is better. My brother has a Yeti, I've got the Roam. I love my Roam. I've got the 20 quart drink tank and the 65 quart rugged cooler. And I love them. I mean, those things hold ice for days. Ice, water, I mean, the dogs were loving it. But we started talking about coolers and is one better than the other? Does one hold ice longer than the other? I mean, they're all kind of using the same technology with the thick insulated, you know, walls. The top is insulated. They all strap down to kind of keep in that you know, cold so the heat can't get in. But we started wondering, like, which one is better? And I came up with the idea, let's do a test. Let's see which one can hold ice the longest. Yes, it's super important to have a cold cooler, but in the end, we want to see how long we can hold ice in these guys. And so I went out to Ralph's. I bought, I don't even know how much ice, way too much ice, a whole basket full of ice. Brought it all home, loaded all of these 3 coolers to the very top. And I decided, you know what, the way I'm gonna kind of monitor the temperature is I'm gonna get one of these wireless thermometers. You keep one inside and you keep one outside, and you can kind of keep an idea of how cold it is without opening it up. So now that I've got all these coolers filled up with ice and the thermometers in it, every 12 hours, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna take a look at all 3 thermometers and see what the temperature is on the inside. Then I'm gonna open them up, shuffle around the ice like you would do if you were taking out a drink, putting in new beverages, whatever it may be. Kind of shuffle up the ice, break it up so it's not just a solid clump of ice, just like you would do if it was a real world scenario. So after I break up the ice, I'll close it, lock it, move on to the next cooler. And I'll do this for every 12 hours until there's no ice in any of the coolers. And we'll see how long these coolers can actually hold their ice. Now, I'm not trying to say which cooler is better than the other. I'm purely just trying to see what's the ice retention of each cooler. So enough talking, let's go ahead and take a reading, look at each cooler and see what each thermometer is reading. And then in 12 hours, I'll come out, I'll do another reading, shuffle around the ice, and we'll do this until all the ice is melted in all 3 coolers. Let's go. All right, so here we go. 37 degrees inside, 64 outside, and that is the Yeti. Coming over to the Roam. This is saying outside is 64, inside is 39 as well. And over to the Ozark Trail, and it is saying about 65 outside, so a degree different than over here, and 38 degrees, 38.8 inside. So we are gonna come back and check every day to see how much ice is melted and what the current temperature is on the inside. All right, guys, so it's been officially 12 hours. It is now 7:15 the next day. I don't expect much ice to have melted, but let's go ahead and take a look and see. All right, guys, so the Yeti is currently reading 33.6 degrees. Break it up a little bit. the ROAM 33.4. We have all ice. Close that lid. And the Ozark Trail is rating 33.8. All right, looking pretty good. Okay. Alrighty guys, so that has been 12 hours, and as you can see, they're pretty much the same. That's what we expected, that's what I expected. I mean, 12 hours overnight, you don't have the sun beating down on it. But the real test starts today, I guess. All right guys, so it has been 24 hours. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what the current temperatures are. The Yeti is currently saying it is 34.3 degrees. The ROAM over here is saying 33.3 degrees. And the Ozark Trail, that is sitting at 33.6 degrees. Okay, so looking at the inside, it's still got some ice in there. So that kind of simulates us getting a drink out, putting some more drinks in, whatever. Let's head over to the ROAM. So how's this guy gonna look? Looking pretty good. So looking at it, there might be a little bit of ice melting. I don't remember it being this empty around it, but we'll see. And over to the Ozark. All right, guys, let's see how this one looks. Looking pretty good. So the Ozark's looking pretty darn good too. All right, guys, so this is start of day 2. It's been 36 hours. The Yeti is currently sitting at 34 degrees. The ROAM is currently at 33.3 degrees. And the Ozark Trail is sitting at 34.3. Still plenty of ice. Let's go ahead and put it back in. Let's head and hop over to the ROAM. Looks about the same. Still some nice big chunks. Okay, and over to the Ozark Trail. Still a good amount of ice. Looks like it's starting to melt. This one definitely seems a little lower. Oh yeah, look at all that water down there. This one's definitely melting more than the others, but still nice and cold. Oh yeah, look at all that water down there. That's a good amount. Okay. Alrighty guys, end of day 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the coolers and see how they are doing inside. The Yeti is currently saying 34 degrees inside. The ROAM is currently saying 33.3 degrees inside. And the Ozark Trail is currently saying 34.3 on the inside. So inside the Yeti, still plenty of ice. As you can see, it's starting to melt around the sides. You can kind of see the corner right here is starting to get a little melted. If I can focus it, this one, there we go. So a little bit of a gap, but that's what's to be expected. Let's go ahead and move some ice around. Oh, there's actually a lot of water down here. Look at all that water. That is no longer firm like it was this morning.
That's what she said.
Okay, Okay, and move on to the Roam. Let's take a look at this guy. Oh, I heard something slosh around. Oh, okay. There's a little bit of water in here. Look at that. Down in the corner, down at the bottom, there's some water starting to happen now. Definitely not as bad as the Yeti, in my opinion. Break up some of that ice. Moving over to the Ozark. So this morning, there was a good amount of water in it already. Let's see how it's doing now. Oh yeah, look at all that water. Look at all of that water. That is definitely way more water than the Yeti and the Roam. And as you can tell, that's about half full now. So definitely a lot less ice than there was this morning. So 60 hours in, the Yeti is currently saying it is 34.9 degrees on the inside. All right, still a good amount of ice in there. About as much as yesterday, I'd say. As you can see though, there is a very good amount of water in there. All water. Moving on to the Roam. The Roam is currently saying 34 degrees on the inside. So the Roam is currently saying it's the coldest, but is it holding the ice the longest? Okay, not bad. So definitely some water. I'd say what, about finger's width? A couple inches, 2-3 inches of water. Oh, this is a big one. Let's go ahead and close that back up. And the Ozark Trail is saying 34.3 on the inside. So this one was the one that had the most amount of water in it yesterday, at just under 3 days. Okay. Oh, yeah, look at all of that water. That is that's a lot of water in there. We are now 72 hours into this. These coolers have been sitting outside for 72 hours. So let's go ahead and start off with our Yeti. So the Yeti is currently saying it is 35 degrees inside. Let's take a look how it's doing. All right, so still a good amount of ice in here. But, wow, look at all that. That's a lot of water now. Look at this. Still a decent amount of ice in there. All right, now let's move over to the Roam. So the Roam is saying 34.7. Let's pop this open. All right, so I don't know, it's interesting. It looks like this has a lot of ice still. I mean, these are some big chunks. Still a lot of water, but what's interesting is there's ice all the way down. So something that the Yeti was a little bit warmer on the bottom. Okay. All right, and now let's head over to the Ozark Trail. Look at this, guys. The Ozark is saying 34.3, so it's back to being the coldest. But as we saw earlier, there was a lot of water. Let's see if it still has some ice or if it's all melted. Oof, that is a lot of water. that's pretty much floating now. Good thing I put this in there because otherwise it would be pretty ruined right now. Yeah, that's all water down there. I'm touching, nope, ice cubes are floating. So, whew, that is crazy cold though. Whew. Are we on day 6, day 2, day 5? What day are we on, Babaloo? Sir, what day are we on, Babaloo? All right, guys. Day 4 of the cold cooler challenge. Let's go ahead and take a look. It has now been 82 hours. So starting with the Yeti, it is currently saying 35.8 on the inside. The Roam is currently saying 34.3 degrees on the inside. And the Ozark Trail, guys, Ozark Trail, constantly blowing my mind, 33.4 degrees on the inside. So let's go ahead and pop them open and take a look at the ice. Oh, wow. That's a lot more water than yesterday. Okay. Look at that. See the sloshing? All right, and moving on to the Roam. This one, in my opinion, has held the most ice. It still has a lot of water, but definitely not as much as the Ozark. Let's see how it's doing compared to the Yeti today. All right. Okay. Interesting. Definitely a lot of water, but I mean, look at these chunks. There's still a lot of these big guys. Look at, not as much sloshing as the Yeti. See how it kind of just settles? That means that there's still a lot of ice in this guy. And let's come over to the Ozark Trail. So, if you've watched up to this part, you know that this one has a lot of water in it. However, it is still very cold, 33.4 degrees. I mean, that's just a degree over freezing. So it is still very, very cold inside. And there you go. So, good amount of water in there. As you can see, a lot more sloshing. I mean, look at that. That's the most water. I honestly think if we're rating from most water to least, it's the Ozark Trail, then the Yeti, and then the Roam. All right, guys, end of day 4, 96 hours of being outside. The Yeti is currently saying 37 degrees on the inside. The Roam is currently saying 35.8 degrees. And the Ozark Trail is saying 34.7 degrees on the inside. All right, so quite a bit of water still, but some ice still in there. Definitely more ice is floating now. We got a little boat right here. Let's go ahead and do the shake test. All right, let's go ahead and check the Roam now. Oh, okay. Actually, a lot more water this time. This guy, definitely a lot more water. Still a good amount of ice in here though. I'm touching the bottom. Whew, that is cold. But touching the bottom, the ice is still all the way over. Let's go ahead and do the slosh test. definitely stops much quicker. Let's go and do this one. All right, hopping over to the Ozark Trail. Let's take a look at this one. Still has ice in it. That's good. That's good. Still has a good amount of ice, but definitely not as much as the other ones. Still cold though. Look at that slosh. All right guys, 108 hours. We are now on day 5. Let's go ahead and take a look at the readings. Coming from the Yeti, we are at 34.3 degrees on the inside. The Roam, we are at 33.4 inside. And the Ozark Trail, we are at 33.4. Nothing like, still a good amount of ice, but definitely a lot of water. All right, hop over to the Roam. Definitely a lot more ice or water in this one, but still plenty of ice. Slash test. So, ice is definitely melting now, guys. I'll be surprised if they all last 7 days. The Ozark, on the other hand, this one has already lost a lot of ice. It's pretty much water now. Yep. Still some ice. Yeah, look at it. A nice big clump right here. Do a little shake test. All right, guys. So 5 days, 120 hours sitting out in the sun, sitting outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the readings. Starting with the Yeti, we are reading 36.5 degrees. Moving on to the Roam. It is currently saying 34.9 degrees. And the Ozark Trail is currently saying 35 degrees on the inside. All right, so starting with the Yeti, popping that off. There we go. Good amount of water, but still a lot of ice. Yep. No water, no ice down at the bottom. It is all now floating. So this is what the Ozark looked like on, I'd say, day 3. And hopping over to the Roam. All right, so still a good amount of ice on the bottom. Still very cold. Definitely a lot more sloshing in it, but still, lots of ice. And moving on to the Ozark Trail. So what's interesting is the Ozark and the Roam have consistently been the coldest, or kind of bouncing back and forth on who's the coldest, while the Yeti over there has been the warmest. The Ozark, though, has lost the most amount of ice, in my opinion. And it's pretty evident that all the ice is pretty much, that's all water with just some ice cubes floating on top. Nothing down here. Still very cold. You put some drinks in there, it's gonna keep it nice and cold. Do a little slosh test. All right, guys, it is the start of day 6, 132 hours being outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the readings. Okay, so starting off with the Yeti, it's currently saying 34.3 degrees. Lots of water, but just little small ice cubes now. the Roam, 33.4 on the inside. Let's go ahead and pop this one open. Okay. Obviously still has ice. Ooh, all the way down to the bottom. Whew. And the Ozark Trail, currently saying 33.4. Let's go ahead and pop it open. Oh yeah, I can already hear it. Okay, well, still has ice. Not a lot, but still has ice. Let's go and slosh it around. Still hanging in there, guys. Alrighty, guys. Day number 6 in the books, 144 hours outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures and pop the tops, see how much ice is left. The Yeti is currently saying 34.9 degrees. Let's go ahead and pop it open and see how much ice is in it. Yep, still a good amount of ice. Still some nice chunks. But all of it is pretty much floating now. It's definitely getting a little bit warmer. A little shake test right there. So the Roam is currently saying 34.9. Pop the top. Still a lot of ice. Still some nice chunks. Oh, that water is very cold. Whew. Okay. The Ozark Trail is currently showing 34 degrees. Pop you open. And, well, still has ice. Still doing okay on that ice. Nice chunk right here still. That's good. There we go. But definitely pretty much water. Just gonna shake it around. Yep, there you go. All right, guys, day number 7. That's 156 hours outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the readings, pop them open, see how much ice is left. All right, guys, starting off with the Yeti, it is currently saying 34.3 on the inside. Moving over to the Roam, it is currently saying 33.4 on the inside. And coming over to the Ozark is saying 33.4. Okay, so good amount of ice still in here. Still hanging. Just going to slosh it around. Moving on over to the Roam. Popping it open. There we go. Still a good amount of ice in there. Okay, a lot of ice. And moving on to the final one, the Ozark Trail. Let's go ahead and pop it open and see how much ice is in there. Still has ice, guys. Still has ice. Definitely not much. But it's still very cold. It's pretty much gone. I have a feeling by the end of today, or at least by tomorrow morning, this will all be melted and just be water. All right, guys, that's an entire week, 168 hours of being out in the sun, being out at night, at day, and the hot and the cold, 168 hours of being outside. So let's go ahead, take a look at the readings, pop them open, see if they still have ice, let's just keep going. We'll do this until there's no ice left. So, starting with the Yeti, 34 degrees. Let's pop it open, see how much ice is in it. All right. Well, definitely lost a lot. Look at it. It's pretty much all on that side right there. Still some nice big chunks, but that is a lot of water. All right, so the Roam is reading 34, as well as the Yeti. We pop it open. Okay, still has a lot of ice in it. Do a little rock test. Now, the Ozark Trail, guys. This is not looking good. It is no longer the coldest cooler. It is sitting at 36.9, roughly 37 degrees compared to 34 from the Roam and Yeti. It's currently reading the warmest. It is no longer the coldest cooler. Oh, and there you go. There you go, guys. There's just a little bit of ice left, but it is pretty much gone. I honestly think 7 days is pretty much it. We might be able to get some ice left over by tomorrow, but I highly doubt it. All right, guys, day 8, 180 hours, 180 hours of these coolers being outside. Does the Ozark Trail still have some ice in it? Let's check. All right, so starting with the Yeti, 34 degrees, guys. Still has ice in it. Still got some big chunks in here. Let's move on to the Roam, 34 degrees. Go ahead and pop it open. Still has ice, guys. Still has ice. Okay, and moving over to our Ozark Trail, it's saying 44 degrees. And last night it had pretty much nothing. Yep, that is it. That is it, guys. It is just water. Nothing. All right, guys, so there you have it. The Ozark Trail is officially done. But that's not bad. 7 days of being in the sun, 7 days of being outdoors. That's really good for a inexpensive cooler. Something that you're gonna be using for, you know, some hunting or fishing, you know, something like that, a little campground. This is a great cooler. Can't hang with the Yeti, can't hang with the Roam. I have a feeling these guys still have another 2-3 days on it, but that's up to you guys to decide. Is saving 200 bucks worth it for something that's still gonna last you a week? Let's see how long these guys can go. Maybe these guys have another week in them. Let's check back in another 12 hours. All right, guys, this is 192 hours being outdoors. This is the end of day number 8. Starting with the Yeti, it is currently saying 34.9 degrees on the inside. Let's go ahead and pop open the Yeti, see how it's doing. So, look at that, guys. Significantly less ice. Look at this. This is pretty much gone. Look at that. That's it. I think we got maybe a day left into this thing. I have a feeling tomorrow, day 9, will be the last of the Yeti. All right, guys, now on to the Roam. It's also saying 34 degrees. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Roam. Man, look at so much ice still in here. Look at that. There's still plenty of ice in this guy. All right. All right, guys. It's the start of the 9th day. Let's go ahead and take a look at the readings. Pop them open, see how much ice is left. Look at that, guys. 38.5. 38.5. Is there gonna be ice still in it? I don't know. Moment of truth. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That is it. Aside from some plastic. Nothing. There's no ice left in there, guys. But what about the Roam? Let's go take a look at that. So the Roam, guys, is saying 33.8, 60 degrees. It's still cold enough to have ice. Pop it open. Moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's insane. That is insane, guys. The Roam held ice the longest. All right, guys, well, there you have it. Day 9, the beginning of day 9, the Yeti is officially out. Day 7, the Ozark Trail is out, and the Roam is still going. Let's check back in another 12 hours. Let's see. Alrighty, guys, 216 hours later, 9 full days, and only 1 cooler still has ice left. The Roam has beat out the Yeti and has beat out the Ozark Trail. But is there still ice in it after 9 days? Let's take a look. So the Roam is currently reading 35 degrees. So it's getting warmer inside, guys. Moment of truth. There's still ice. Wow. I'm legit blown away right now. 9 full days and there's still plenty of ice in here. That's crazy. All right, guys, I'm gonna try and keep these videos really quick now. We already know the Roam won. So day 10, 224 hours in. Let's pop it open and take a look. It's reading 33 degrees. Let's go ahead and pop it open. There you go, guys. Still has ice. Okay. All right, guys, 10 days, 236 hours later, and the Roam is still showing some good temperatures. 35 degrees on the inside. Let's go ahead and pop it open and take a look. And, oh man, that's almost gone, guys. That is almost gone. Look at this. That is, it's gonna be gone by tomorrow morning. We're gonna get maybe 10.5 days. Alrighty, guys, day 11, 248 hours of being outside. The Roam cooler is now saying 38.8 degrees. So my guess is there is no more ice inside. There you go, guys. It is officially out of ice. Nothing but water left. All right, guys, well, there you go. The start of the 11th day. 248 hours in, and the Roam is officially out of ice. Not bad. Honestly, not bad for all 3 coolers. The Ozark Trail held ice for 7 days. The Yeti held ice for 9. And the Roam, I'm not gonna give it the full 11 days. It didn't hold it for 11. I'd say closer to 10, 10 and a half, but still, unbelievable. That's really good for a cooler. One thing I do wanna make note of is I'm here in Los Angeles, so on average, the temperatures was between 60 to 80 degrees. So not crazy cold, not crazy hot. Obviously, if we were in the mountains during the winter, these coolers might last another week, and vice versa. If we were in the desert, triple digits, maybe half of that. We might get 3 full days, 4 full days of holding ice, but still really good. All right, guys, so wrapping up this video, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on Instagram, following along with my stories. It's really fun engaging with you guys and hearing what you had to all say about each one of these coolers. I love it, so thank you, keep doing that. Please do me a favor, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more of these types of videos, please hit subscribe. And honestly, leave a comment. I want to hear from you guys. Did you enjoy watching this video? Do you want to see more comparison videos, more instruction videos, or are you guys wanting to see some nice adventure videos, getting the truck out, getting it nice and dirty? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the horizon.